residents in Middelburg disrupting the Mineral Resources Minister's address in Mpumalanga. Minister Mosebenzi Zwane was meant to talk to community members about the controversial new mining charter. Our reporter Khayelihle Khumalo in Middelburg and joins us now on Newsday. So what did you see?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Jeremy. It's been quite a very tumultuous day here in Middelburg as some section of the residents here, just inside this very hall here, when the minister was just about to give an address, one member of the community took the microphone and made a very strong announcement and saying, look, Minister, you were supposed to bring the Premier of the province, Mr. David Mabuza, but as far as the minister is concerned, he insists that he followed the protocols and making sure that he consulted the province to some degree, that there was a commitment from Mpumalanga provincial government to bring the MEC of Finance, Mr. Khayelihle, but unfortunately Mr. Khayelihle did not make it. And also the residents here, they have just been telling us quite in no uncertain terms that they are fully behind the mining charter. You would know that about 80% of mining is happening around in this province of Mpumalanga.
So the minister, from what we can gather here, was unable to talk, but some reports suggesting that he was chased away. Is that true?
Well, certainly, Jeremy, that's what came across. The minister was heckled as he tried to address the community members. They said they're not in a position to listen to him. And this was mainly spearheaded by a local grouping called the practical and radical economic transformation. But when we tried to really establish as to why exactly were they, hell-bent in disrupting the proceedings, they were saying, look, the minister just cannot rock up in this particular community. They really have some serious concerns, and the Premier of the province should have been part and parcel of the program here. And of course, they're saying they are really just throwing their weight behind the mining charter, which is very far-reaching. It's going as far as calling for a 30% in terms of making sure that the previously disadvantaged groups have a share, and also the communities as well. About 8% also is allocated to the mining communities as well.
So if they are throwing their weight then behind the mining charter, what was the concern then in terms of the Premier? What did they want to address with him?
Well, at this point in time, Jeremy, that's what everybody's keen to find out, as to really why were they so hell-bent and so bound and determined to see the Premier presenting himself, because from what we gather, he's not even in the country. But of course, we haven't really got those reports from the Premier's office. It's some of the reports that are doing rounds here. So that's what the community wanted to hear from him. But also what we also had, Jeremy, is an opportunity to speak to Minister Mosebenzi Zwane. He's saying, look, this is not a rude awakening for him. He certainly does appreciate the community's issues. He's saying, look, another meeting will be scheduled whereby the community will be given a chance for a very simple reason, because not all people who are here were chasing him away, but there were a certain portion of the community who were not keen to listen, his address. And some people here, they were saying they were very eager to hear from the minister's point of view as to how will the charter affect them. And obviously they are talking about the impact of the mining sector from themselves. Others are talking about contracting some diseases because of the heavy concentration of the mining sector in this particular area.
And just finally, given the controversial nature of this new mining charter, is this a portent of things to come? Is the minister concerned that he might get a similar reception from other communities as he embarks on this countrywide roadshow?
What he said to us, Jeremy, the minister insisted that, look, he's given a mandate of trying to de-rationalize the mining sector. So by the virtue of the introduction of the charter, that's one of the ways of trying to meet his constitutional obligations. So it remains to be seen as to what would be, other encounters in other parts of the country. The mining sector is very critical in South Africa, as much as it's really facing some serious challenges, but it contributes about 300 billion rand per annum in the country. So the minister is very adamant that he will continue. And at some point I really asked him, I said, Minister, are you not embarrassed by the events of today? And he really just, said he was not startled at all. And he knows that there will always be those people who will try and seek attention. But he will continue to champion the cause of making sure that the mining sector is fully transformed.
And that's where we'll leave it. Khayelihle Khumalo reporting live for Newsday in Middelburg. Thank you very much indeed. Around about 3 o'clock this afternoon, we'll take you live to London on that story. The chief economist at Standard & Chartered, Razia Khan, will have some strong views on the mining charter, which, as we've just mentioned, the minister himself is now on a roadshow to explain and to sell to various constituencies.